So it seems that PlayStation is in a lot of trouble along with Xbox and the AAA gaming industry as well here. I know people will still buy the game outside of the US as of course, there's more to the world in the US. But it seems in the US at the very least, all of these companies seem to be in major trouble. So of course if you do not know, there was of course the assassination of Charlie Cook. It was a very tragic and sad event caused by a crazed individual crazy with this individual, and most celebrities have kind of stayed silent about it because they don't want to get canceled. They don't want to, get canceled, and because they get canceled on the right if they, go crazy and say, oh, about, that, and then if they, feel bad about it, they'll get canceled by the left. So there is no real easy way around it for celebrities. For us, we can have basic empathy and we can understand, hey, this was a bad event, but these gaming developers, Xbox and PlayStation, are going to lose a lot of business in the US. I think that is going to be very obvious as well here. And, of course, in the rest of the world, people will still buy Ghost of Yotai and PlayStation and Xbox. Because of course, unfortunately, the world is not the US. Okay, other countries are still going to buy these AAA gaming companies as well. Okay, but in the U.S., it seems to be it's trying to get more and more unviable for them as well. Okay, as well. But again, a lot of countries like Europe who do not pay attention to American politics as well, or even places like Canada as well, are still probably not gonna care because it's as well. So yes, in the U.S. I do think that people are not going to buy Ghost of Yotai. I think the game is going to flop in the US. But in other parts of the world, like Europe, Japan, and of course China, I think Ghost of Yotai will be just fine. Especially considering the PlayStation and gaming is rapidly growing in China as well. For example, that Stellar Blade game that they said, oh, it's so great, or that, anime GTA ripoff. Most of the pre-sales of that anime GTA ripoff-esque game is in China. Most of Marvel Rivals players are in China. Most of Stellar Blade sales were in China. Most of Mecha Breaks players were in China. And of course, China is going to massively inflate the success of a game, but well, how is it doing in the US? How is it doing in Europe? Okay, Stellar Blade didn't sell too well in the US. And I tried to point that out, and SREGs really got so angry at me to say, but the US is not the only country in the world, but the 80% of Stellar Blade sales were in Asia. Okay, and those were most of the people who played the game. In the US, Stellar Blade is a flop, and it still is a flop in the US. Same thing with Mecha Break, that flopped, and Nato will probably flop in the US. And yeah, that's what this video here, and goodbye.